I'm attorney Mark Nicholson from the law office of Mark Nicholson, and this is your Nicholson Nugget of the day. Recently, there was a jail deputy that was killed by what they allege is a jail inmate, and there's video of this happening. He was transporting him back to the jail, and when he was alone, the jail inmate apparently got him wrapped around with the chain and the handcuffs and basically strangled him to death. Now, there's been a lot of media attention to this, and apparently the jail said that they fired several staff that were responsible. There was a breakdown in what should have happened and should have not happened. Well, a common practice of the prosecutor's office is they will file a basically some kind of confidential notice, protective order, trying to keep defense counsel from getting documents or sharing the documents with other people or someone. Sometimes I've even seen them where they don't even want you to share the stuff with your client, which I think is outrageous. And of course, I would never agree to something like that. But they'll often file these when it comes to these body cams and say, oh, we can't redact it. They just make up all these kind of excuses. And oftentimes the judges will just basically go ahead and agree and rubber stamp it and boom, okay, bam, 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 on down the line. And that's kind of common practice in Marion County when it comes to these protective orders. Well, this particular case, was moved out of Marion County and moved into another county, Hendricks County. The prosecutors are requesting the death penalty in this particular case. The interesting twist is the double standard that the prosecutors use, because at the same time, they want to file this basically protective order trying to prevent the defense from releasing evidence and things like that and sharing this information with the public when it comes to discovery. Law enforcement, which is part of the prosecutor's office, the police, sheriff's department, all that, law enforcement is part of the, they are considered part of the prosecution, the state. They are the state actors. They released the video to the public, and it shows it in all its glory details. And I haven't watched it. I've read articles about it. That's all I needed to see. I don't need to get in and see someone, just get strangled to death. So they have released this to the public. And it seems to be a double standard. Well, the defense can't do it, but then the prosecutors can't. They're arguing that this is so graphic, it's going to prejudice the jury. The defense will misuse it. We don't have time to redact it. But then the sheriff gets in there and releases the whole thing to the public. That seems to be a double standard. And it's a good thing that it was kind of exposed by the judge in that case, who basically questioned that if the defense is not able to, show this to the public, then why are the deputies of the Marion County Sheriff's Department allowed to release it? So just want to point out that if you have a criminal case and it's involving body cam and certain things, they will oftentimes file what's called a protective order on the discovery to try to prevent your attorney from sharing that information with anyone else. And sometimes even you, although that's not proper, and I don't see that as much as I did years ago when they would say, oh, well, you can't even share it with your client, or if you do, you got to sign some kind of waiver and things like that. But that is a common practice that the prosecutors do, and you can see in this particular case, it seems to be a double standard that they're using, because they're saying, oh, you guys can't do it, defense can't do it, but we can do it. And that just doesn't seem fair. Remember, know your rights and subscribe.